Hey, good morning, guys. It's Goose here. Welcome to Stock Talk with Ricky and myself. Um, I could definitely say ready for an interesting day. I think it'll be a great day. Key to days like this, guys, is to be sharp, be smart, be patient. There's tons of stuff out there. Obviously, we just each of us grabbed a few different names. Hopefully, you guys know that everything we're talking about is not a solicitation. Make sure you guys are doing your own homework. Read the disclaimer below, guys. Very important. And we're just trying to cover a couple thoughts on a few ideas, especially in a market like this, guys. It is extremely, extremely challenging finding things because a lot of times I'll wait till the open and be more of a reaction to what's going on certain names that I think have good range and things like that, which we'll talk a little bit about. Guys, there's no better time right now in markets like this to come check us out over at stocktraders.net. I mean, these are the times that you want to be in a strong community, people that are willing to help you. Please check us out, guys. I think you'll be really impressed. We have a free trading side that you can just PM any of the guys talking, whether it's myself or Ricky, Titus, MT, any of these guys will all talk to you and be happy to help out as much as we can and give some insight on some names you're looking at or things that we're discussing. So come check us out. I think there's still even a free trial going on right now that you could check it out for a couple days or whatever. So please, hopefully we see you over there and shoot us a message and get to know us a little bit. With that being said, I'm going to turn this right over to Ricky. I know he's got a few things and I got a few things to talk about as well. So let's get things going, Ricky.
Thanks a lot, Goose. Good morning, everyone. And like he was saying, we are changing the name of the premium room to freemium for 3 days, guys. Come over and check us out for free, absolutely free. See what the guys are offering in the HD room, screen sharing, live openings with Titus. A guy who literally has been killing the markets for over a decade. I don't want to tell you how long he's been in the market. I don't want to tell you his age. But we also got things like Tron on the horizon, which is like our trading platform that's going to allow the community to take trades as a group and vote on entries and targets and put real money to work, but at the same time remain emotionless and try to teach people how to control or tame that aspect of their trading, since emotions are really a huge part of trading. So we got a lot of big stuff popping on the horizons, guys. You don't want to miss it. Check us out, www.stocktraders.net. Now let's jump into the list. I want to point out the SPY, guys. Hold on. I'm not sure why that chart was up. Just want to remind everyone the level that I'm really concerned about is 253. Anything above that, I'm not going to get in bear mode just yet. We did reclaim the 200 yesterday. I know we're kind of gapping down this morning, but we'll see what happens. It's going to be if-then statements all day long. So first thing I'm watching, guys, is CASI. And yes, I know a lot of eyes are on this. It's getting extended. People want to short it. Everybody's always really anxious to short these things, but I will point out some things. This chart is not your typical turd. It doesn't have a long-term downtrend. We've been uptrending. We've been making higher highs. We finally broke out yesterday above that key 5 level. And I also want to point out, guys, the fundamentals on this one. Don't make it a short, guys. They're flush with cash. They had 43 million in cash as of the end of last year, and they only burn about 500K a month. Then they did a 50 million private pipe. So they're sitting on a lot of money for a company that does not burn a lot. They may have an ATM with AC Wainwright, and there's some other things that, yes, maybe eventually this is a short, but on fundamentals, no, not at the moment. I would wait for a technical extension. And yeah, I know it looks like it's extended right now, but let's see if this thing can actually get some legs and get silly. There's a huge amount of insider institutional holdings in this. When the float was around 60 million, there was about 50 million being, 70 million. There was about 52 million in insider holdings. So the float was about 18 million. That whole pipe was bought by the chairman and one other fund. So I'm assuming that the float is still probably right around 18 million. So it's not a tiny float, but it's also quite a bit of people inside holding. And until they choose to dump, I don't see any reason this thing should get hammered. Now, it does not mean it's not a short. I'm not about to long it either at these levels. I just want to point out some of the things that most people are following this name for may not point to it being an easy short. And I always say that what you need to be looking for is the things of the easiest trades. You don't want to be taking things you have to fight the whole time. So that leads me right into ASTC, which may be the easier short based on, now here's what a turd chart looks like. If you need reminder, let's see. Here's CASI. Here's ASTC. See the difference? So these guys are a low float though. They're 4.1 million in the OS, but 3.1 are held by insiders. And most of those 13Fs are from the end of 2017, so it's pretty current. So it's got a really tiny float, but they have zero cash, and they burn about $1 million a month. So these guys have no cash and burn twice as much as CASI. So you guys do the math on that, right? So the levels we're looking at, obviously this Psych 5 would be awesome if we could shove up into that. Right now it's kind of toying with the 200-day. If we get over that, I'm going to let it go and see how far it wants to run. Maybe it just shoves and stuffs right there. We'll have to wait and see where we start getting those first lower highs. Not going to get in front of a moving train, guys. Last thing I wanted to talk about quickly is PTI. I know it looked a little promising earlier, but Carisdale, God love you, but you just had to kill this thing with that tweet a minute ago. But yeah, up on fast track designation, whoop-de-doo. They canceled their 9 million share offering because of the hit piece Carisdale did on them, and turned around a few days later and put out a 50 million ATM. So they're trying to figure out a way to get some money out of the move, but they're really struggling, and I think this move will get stuffed. At these levels it's currently at, it's no longer really on my radar. I would need it to shove back up into these resistance levels that we had marked and possibly even higher, but we'll have to wait and see what the market gives us. This is one of those days where I'm going to put a lot of weight on what Goose says. So everybody listen up. Goose, go ahead, man. Take it.
Hey, I appreciate it very much, man. Great job as always. And I'm going to just kind of go right into my picks, not to say too much, but I do want to comment. ASTC, I love the short idea. I'm looking in the 350 range. That'd be awesome if it got up there. But this is one that you could just look at the daily, look at the wicks on that thing. I love the short idea. Great job. Also, just want to remind you guys on PTI, something that Ricky had said, down at these levels, just be cautious. I mean, you guys should be able to identify a crowded short. So if this gets crowded, watch for it soaking a level and don't get trapped. Okay, you want to sell into the pushes. Okay, try to use that reverse mentality, and you want to sell when everybody else is chasing these things. Okay, you don't want to sit there and sell at the bottoms and buy the tops and cover and get all panicky. So watch for that squeeze action and just be real smart about that trade. But I do like the PTI. And Ricky, awesome job as always, man. A lot of people could read what they say and read little things on FinViz and stuff about floats and outstanding and all these things. This guy does his homework on this stuff, which is awesome. Awesome job as always.
Thanks a lot, Goose.
Just on NVIDIA real quick, guys. Here's a couple quick thoughts I have. NVIDIA I have on here because this will be probably my go-to name today for the market and stuff like that. And the reason is you could see on the daily how it was kind of holding this 217 level. Obviously, it's below that right now, and I'm okay with that. But what I'm looking for is at the open, if this thing wants to make a nice higher low, I'm looking for it to reclaim 217 and push back up. I think it's going to have a huge range today, and I would like to be on that higher low on this one. So I just threw this up there to show you guys what I was looking at the daily. It's kind of been holding this level through all this market adversity and stuff, and I was looking for it to start turning. Obviously, today put a little wrinkle in that, but I still will look for that higher low on this name with any type of market turn. And these will be names, I said it in this morning in the pre-market, that I'm not looking for a $10 move out of this name. I'll scalp little $2 or $3 moves, which are still phenomenal trades. But I'll look to scalp moves on days like today because the market will be so whippy and it's easy to get whipsawed in these type of markets. So, today's a day for me. I'm going to take trades, revisit it, make sure it's clearing another level. I'll rebuy the stock if I still like the long, if it's trading off a level. Those are the ways to trade these type of markets, in my opinion. So moving along, I'm going to touch base on CLDR. I don't know whether I'm going to get a trade out of this or not today, but this was one that I actually really like. It's continuing to fade. I actually thought for a minute while I was typing this up, an hour ago or whatever, that we'd get a little push up into this, 19 area or 1840. I drew the fib just reversed, just so you knew this was the low at the time. And what I do is I do it from the low to the close, pushed it up, which would be about a 50 to 60% retrace from the pre-market action. That's how I came up with 19. And also you could see 1916 is a 50-day. So that's kind of what I was looking for, was possibly to fade it in this pocket here. If it does want to push and the market wants to rebound a little bit, I will look to fade this. And it might be a trade that I take at 10 a.m. or 10:30 after the market's gotten going. Look for that lower high. I think this would be a nice all-day fade potentially on this name. So that's what I'm looking for with CLDR. It's going to definitely be on my watch. Might not be something I hit right out of the bell. But there we go. That's something I'm definitely looking at. Also, by the way, CLDR, you can see the 217.50. If it pushes up on that as well, another area of interest for me. So 1750, if it does make the lower high there, I definitely would be interested. And lastly, just want to touch base with the last one is AAXN. This is a chart we've been talking about almost every day in the pre-market chatter. And, I was liking the setup in this 39.30 break. Yesterday with a strong day all day. What I'm looking at, and it actually is coming in a little bit, so I'm kind of licking my chops a little bit, is if this wants to pull back into this 40 area, I'm going to look to take a long on this name. I want to be really cautious, watching market conditions. I mean, if the market just keeps dumping and this thing wants to come with it, I'll let it go. But obviously you could see, based on the chart, I had a really strong day yesterday, 40-50 area, $40 level, using the figure as well as that 40-50 pivot area. I like the long idea, and a lot of names like this, you'll be able to see if the market's down 500 and this thing is just soaking at a certain level. When that market turns, like the other day when the market was down 750 and it rebounded 200 points and nobody even realized it, those are the type of things that will push a stock like this, and you could get a quick $1 or $2 on it. So this is a name that I'm definitely watching for that, and you could see by yesterday's action in it. I love the action. So I'll definitely have this on my high priority list as well for a long today. But just stay really safe today, guys. It's going to be a really whippy market, and I want everybody to stay safe. Remember, days like this, it's about longevity. It's about continuing to do this for years and years, not for to be one and done in one day like this and try to take a shot on something. We don't take shots, right? So anyway, I'm going to leave it with that. Have a great day today, guys. Remember to stay safe, preserve your capital, and wait for those trades to line up. So back to you, Ricky. Let's have a great day.
Thanks a lot, Goose. Good job as always. Just noticed TENX is gapping up really big. I'm not going to mention it here, but it's a turd. Come on over to stocktraders.net and you may find out how we're going to trade this one. Everybody, if you don't have a plan, you don't have a trade. Stay safe out there. Preserve your capital. Longevity is the name of the game. Let's go out there and crush it. Peace.